Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. You know, Agit Kabayel is on a great run of form. You probably know that. In my opinion, he deserves a shot at Alexander Usyk, a straight shot. I don't think he needs to prove anything else. He's had 3 fantastic victories. He's a hell of a body puncher, as you may have noticed. And he's stopping extremely good men. I mean, all of any contender can do is beat other top 10 contenders, and he's done that. You know, he's done it well. He's done it impressively, not just beaten them, but beaten them impressively. Okay, you know, Frank Sanchez had a bad knee. Yes, okay, but if he got in the ring with a bad knee, that's his problem. Kabayel did his job. He came off the floor to knock out Zhang, and he also we knocked him out the following round, the 5th round, wasn't it? And he also beat the previously undefeated Magomed Abdullayev, who recently beat Dave Allen. Okay, so he's earned it, but he's not getting that shot at Usyk because he's high risk, low reward, doesn't sell that much. You can't, you know. He's based in Germany, but at least Frank Warren is getting him a bit of a January the 10th homecoming in Germany. And it's about time now someone put some respect on this bloke's name because, you know, the casuals probably never heard of him. Those of us that consider ourselves to be, for want of a better phrase, hardcore fans, we know Kabayel, we know how good he is. And he's been avoided. He's been avoided. So it's great that he's getting this January the 10th, you know, homecoming. But interestingly, the person who insists he's already signed for that fight is none other than Tony Yoka. Now, Tony Yoka is trained by Don Charles currently. He had three defeats in a row. I think he's 33 now. He's a former Olympic gold medalist. In my opinion, Joe Joyce beat him in the final, and there was something of a gift involved there. But okay, you know, he got the decision. He won the. I mean, AJ's gold medal. You can pick a couple of fights that he probably lost in that. You know, these things happen. This is why I'm not keen on Olympic boxing or amateur boxing in general. I think it's just there's just too much goes on. Too many shenanigans go on. You think the professional game is bad? Look at the bloody amateur side of things. But anyway, he lost 3 fights in a row, 3 pro fights in a row, and then he met with Don Charles, instantly liked him, instantly got on with him, had a couple of runarounds on small hall shows in Britain, and now apparently he has signed to fight Kabayel. Now you can't knock him for for ambition, Yoka. I mean, he's obviously regained his mojo if he wants to take on Kabayel. I would make Kabayel a red-hot favourite to not just beat Yoka, but stop him. But fair play. I mean, the guy thinks I can beat Kabayel and I can gate crash the world scene. Okay, fair enough. That's fighters are meant to fight. No problem. But here's another thing. Suddenly, Kabayel seems to be a wanted man because none other than Daniel Dubois is targeting Kabayel. Kabayel, by the way, holds, I think it's the WBC interim title. So he has that trinket which can get you a title shot. He's not going to get a title shot at Usyk, as I said. But Dubois, he obviously sees him as, okay, this guy's a danger man, I'll fight him. And whatever you say about Daniel Dubois, and God knows he's got some, you know, shall we say, psychological deficiencies or limitations. The guy's never ducked anyone. Dubois never ducked any. He wants all of that smoke, as they say. And I mean, I Dubois versus Kabayel, I'd favour Kabayel, but when you hit as hard as Daniel does, it's possible. I mean, Kabayel has been rocked and has been shaken. There was I can't remember who the opponent was, but in the first round of a real shootout, I think it was the EBU titles on the line, because he's held that belt twice, I think, Kabayel. He was badly shaken in the first round, almost knocked out. And he was on the floor more recently against Zhang. So it is possible that old Daniel might come back from the dead yet again, having had 3 stoppage defeats. a devastating stoppage in the second fight against Usyk. I mean, he was knocked flat, wasn't he? So yeah, you know, Daniel against Kabayel, I'd watch that. It's certainly more attractive than Yoka versus Kabayel. But again, I repeat, Tony Yoka deserves credit for wanting to take on the best, and he's saying, "I've signed for that fight. All Kabayel's got to do. This is the January the 10th fight in Germany. Put your moniker on put your John Hancock on the line, and I'll fight you." So I think this is a very interesting development. The fact that Kabayel has gone from being the man who was sort of out in the wilderness, out in the cold. You know, it's like the spy who came in from the cold, isn't he? You know, a lot of people seem to want him, and maybe they see something that's beatable. I don't know, but I'm glad Kabayel's getting, that homecoming. He deserves it, and he was one of the fighters that was at the Joe Parker versus Fabio Wardley fight at the weekend. He was one of the, I think it was 5 heavyweights: Coley, Adelaide, Kabayel, Dubois, and who am I missing? Dillian White, was it? I'm missing someone, aren't I? But they were there, and they were all talking, and they're all under Queensberry, and it was a sort of, so you could have a round robin, and likewise, who cares whether you lose, for Christ's sake? Fighters are supposed to fight, for God's sake. So Joe Parker gets beaten in an upset by Fabio Wardley. So what? The guy fought. He didn't duck anyone. He fought and he lost, and he can come back because he's come back before if he wants to, of course. Daniel's come back before in the past. It doesn't. I want to see fighters. We all want to see fighters fight, don't we? If you look at the greatest era for heavyweights probably was the 70s. I think so. And they all fought each other, and they all picked up losses, and they all beat people, and they all got knocked out, and they all knocked each other out, and that's what you want in any division, not just in heavyweights. So I think this is a good development. But if you've got anything you'd like to say, please leave it in the comments. Any points you'd like to make, of course, as always. So have a think, leave some comments, and thanks for watching the video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new, because it costs nothing and it takes a second to do so. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a good Monday, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.